Hello, I'm Drew. I'm that frog guy, and today we're doing a reptile room video. It's April 2nd, so let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start with this freshwater planted tank. It's a 30-gallon aquarium, and as you guys can see, I've added Floki's old decorations and some plants. We got mollies, neon tetras, danios, and we got cherry shrimp, among a couple other little creatures hiding along in this tank. There's two autocinkless cats and a what do they call it? A bristlenose pleco in here somewhere. They don't come out that often. We're gonna jump over to this tank where we have our blenny there. We have two Mangai cardinals. We have the one, whoop, he just disappeared. We have a cleaner shrimp there. And then we have our little buddy there, who is a, whoop, and he's gone. A possum wrasse. We have a beautiful, what do they call it? Rock flower anemone there. We have some other corals in here. This tank is doing pretty well. You can see this guy has came up here. And we have a nice big old urchin over there. This is a 20-gallon saltwater aquarium with some different corals. Oh, you can see our little crab buddy there. But I'm not going to spend too much time today on these tanks. We're going to jump down to this one. This is my future plan to put a bandit into this tank, but right now this is a 20-gallon tank. All we have in here is the larger of the hermit crabs, trying to keep my rocks kind of clear. We have actually two lights on this tank. One that's running pure blue, and the other one is our so you can tell here with these little rocks that we're going to have at least some good coloration when coral eventually goes in there. But we're going to continue over to this rack where we have what's his name? E.T. E.T., where are you at? I just saw you when I came down here. Well, E.T. is a mud minnow, and I've actually managed to train him to eat pellets. Finally! Oh, there he is. And he is not happy that I'm filming him. He does not like the camera. It's a small little 10-gallon tank. I've had him for a while. He was going to be frogfish food, but we ended up falling in love with his personality, and now he's a buddy. We're going to jump down to my only beta now, or betta. This is Chromium. He's a dragon scale beta. He's in a 5-gallon aquarium. Planted tank here. He's got some cherry shrimp buddies and some other snails like the nair right there. You gonna come out and say hello? He's a little sad that Floki's gone, because he used to be out more and about showing off his colors. Speaking of which, Floki's tank is gone, which is sad. I will get something else here eventually. We'll jump down to the shrimp tank. This is my redo on the cherry shrimp tank, because it was kind of not working out. You can see them all in here. It's kind of growing crazy with whatever kind of plant those are. I don't know, they're kind of interesting. As you can see, my water level is very crooked. And so that means my shelf's kind of bowing, and I really need to top off some of these tanks. Here we got my newest saltwater tank. This is the 1 gallon, or what do they call it? A little Pico Reef. It's still cycling, so it's not quite there yet. And then no tanks on the bottom. Noodle was given away to my mother, so we don't have him anymore. We'll jump over to this rack. This is the shrimp tank for feeder shrimp. All we got in here is ghost shrimp. Come on, focus. And snails. Down here we have Bandit, one of our OGs of the channel. You guys hear that? I think we got the spring peepers starting to chirp. That's interesting. First time I've heard it since I've been down here talking, and they usually are quiet. But we'll jump over to the 55-gallon tank. In here we have firebelly toads. We'll see if we can see any as they all jump into the water. You see that one there. And there's another one back there. There's about 20 or so in here. I only got one that's turning bright green as of yet. Oh, there's one. That's Mr. Greenie. We'll leave that tank alone. We'll head over to this next rack. In here, we can see one of them right there. The Santa Isabellas are growing up. That one's growing really quick. There's 4 of them in here, though I usually only see 1 or 2 at a time. There's another one back there. So that'll be cool once they get a little bigger and start hanging out more. Yeah, that'll be cool once they get a little bigger. But that is a 20-gallon aquarium conversion. Down here we have our little turtles tank. Her name, or his name, is B, or Beatrix, or I don't know, the guy name we haven't thought of yet still. We'll find out when he gets bigger. But that is a 20-gallon tub, and he will go, hopefully, or she will go into this tank, or this tub eventually, where we keep our tortoise, Tortellini, who is buried. And then Tortellini will get a bigger upgrade, hopefully this year. Down here we have some spring peepers, as you guys can have just heard them, hopefully. There's one there, and there's a second one in this tank somewhere. My guess is he's up kind of high, but there's a second one in here somewhere. And if they're already spring peeping, that means we might be getting babies, which I don't know if is a good idea yet or not. But we'll jump over to our Pixie Frogs tank named Gitrog after the magic card Gitrog Monster. He's just in a 10-gallon tank for now. He will get upgraded to a 20, but he doesn't move much. He just kind of hangs out in the same spot all the time. But we'll jump up to the Salamanders tank, which you can see. That's actually the first time I've seen the big one in a long time. I usually see the small one crawling around. But there we go. Tail of the big one. They're doing pretty good. I see them once in a while. They're not out all the time because salamanders generally are not. Almost knocked Tortellini's lights over. This is Ziggy's old tank. I still have his name on here, which I do miss him dearly. I think about him once in a while. Now on to the newer changes. Well, since we lost this guy, we ended up replacing him with our gray tree frogs. If we can get a shot there of the two. They had to go in here because I recently discovered Mulder and Scully, which I should pull this up here. Scully is in this tank, and Mulder's in that tank because we're fighting each other, and I have reason to believe I have 2 females. So it's gonna be Scully and probably Moldera or Foxy Cleopatra. I don't know. We'll figure out a name eventually. She's in here somewhere. They never come out when I'm around. Especially now that there's only the one in each tank. They like to hide a little more afraid. So I need to track down a male for both of them or something just to start equalizing this tank. We'll jump over to our Azurius. There, that is Babe the Blue Frog, named after Babe the Blue Ox. Sorry, my glass is a little messed up, but you can definitely see his coloration. And then down here we have Littlefoot and his companion Toad. I don't know where the other one's at right now, but there's Littlefoot. And where's your buddy? There's the buddy. Here's the buddy. I don't really take these two out. I could probably take them out. We call him Littlefoot because he's missing some toes. Of course, you guys want to be on camera. We got Tadius and Tatalina. They're just always hungry, always fat. You can just see how fat they are. They are Dendrobates tinctoris powder blues, for those you don't know. You can go back to one of my older videos, Reptile Rooms, where I talk more in depth about their types. Otherwise, here we got just a little 1-gallon planted tank. Trying to do this quick just because my computer can't handle the editing anymore. For longer videos, it just crashes. In here we have Casey. How you doing, Casey? Casey is an East African spiny-tailed lizard. I've had him for since I was 10, and he's about 18, 19 years old. Sorry, buddy, I'll be quiet. He's getting up there in age. Down here we have a really fat, freshly fed snake. Her name is Medusa. She is a hognose snake. And she is just plump. Look at that stomach. So many pinkies. We'll jump over to Cersei's tank. Cersei is a pinstripe ball python. And she is in her water dish. But since it's dark, we'll turn on some light. She is a pinstripe ball python, and she is getting massive, and she's spilled all her water. I'll have to fix that. But we'll jump down to Khaleesi, who is a bearded dragon, and is very, very not a rough-scaled one. She's very, very smooth, which must be part of her breeding. We don't know too much about her beyond that. There's her info if you want to look at it more. And then down here we have our Alfredo. How you doing, Alfie? Yeah, he's hungry. I'm gonna feed him here soon. But we'll jump around to some of the last tanks. In here we have an African clawed frog somewhere. He likes to hide in those pots in here, and then you just can't see into them. He's in there somewhere. Probably in that pot there, generally hiding from me when he hears my voice. Down here we have just an empty tank, just growing some plants. I kind of like this one, but nothing in there now. Might be something someday, but for now we're just keeping plants alive. Get a more straight on angle. Then we're going to jump over to our frogfish tank, Pennywise. So you guys can see some of the new growth on some of the coral. This is the only tank that seems to, well, besides the one right behind me right now, just seem to show off some of its more interesting growth patterns. Pennywise is a frogfish. You can see his head right there. Yeah, I can pull out his info sheet for those who care. He's in a 20-gallon saltwater aquarium with a refugium. I call it the pillars of whatever. As you guys can see in the reflection, right there is the tank we're going to turn around to next, which is the Aratus tank, and you can see one of them is out right there. There's 3 Aratus in here. I have not named them. There's 2 males and 1 female. And I still haven't seen any breeding activity yet. But this tank is really growing in mass, like quickly, and filling in. I'm gonna have to do some trimming eventually, but it really looks kind of cool. I really like this tank. But that is my expedited reptile room tour for. I should probably show you guys. I've hung up all my power supplies. All my cords are up on the walls. Nothing for water. Everybody's got new power. I'm a little more safe now than I've ever been, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, like, subscribe. You guys know what to do in that situation. Oh, there's Big. You guys know what to do. But if you guys don't, it's just the bell icon, the thumbs up, and I think there's a button for subscribing too. But thank you guys all for supporting the channel. I'm sorry this is a quick one. I'm kind of talking really fast. But like I said, I really need a new computer because editing is just takes me hours and hours just to like process the video. So like, subscribe, and hopefully I can buy a new computer this year. So we'll see you guys next time.